Happy Sweet 16 Draft Drafters. It's Dan, it's JP, and I had to throw since we did last Thursday. We're doing this Thursday. We got to talk basketball for about 13 seconds here. As I
are
was
we
talking
both
about,
doing bottles?
I think we are. Go team. That's right crazy. There. Sometimes you just need to pop a bottle instead of crack a can, and still got to do it by a microphone because it's better ambiance that way. But all I know is right now, and we'll get into football talk here in a minute, but when we're talking about brackets, if St. John's beats Duke, I've got a chance to beat you. Otherwise, I think I'm screwed.
You know what's great about this situation?
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, I win.
Because Duke loses?
Yeah, Duke loses, or I win the bet and get a tomahawk steak. Right. And what is it, a tomahawk steak and a bomber? Is that what we
said or a bomber. Come on, man. I'm not made of that kind of money.
Tomahawk.
Tomahawk or a bomber.
I'll tell you what, if you got to buy 2 tomahawks, I'll buy the bomber.
I told one of my friends what the bet was, and he's like at a restaurant or at home? I was like, oh no, at home. We're not
backyard.
I'm not paying someone $100 to cook a tomahawk for me. I can do that myself, thanks. More fun that way. But all I know is I don't know if you've gotten if you've pulled up and looked at your bracket or anything. I have the ice cube next to my name because it is. I'm ice cold, man. I am ice cold. I am the 22 millionth ranked person right now. And the only hope that I have is that Houston can win their region and that St. John's beats Duke, which is possible because most of Duke has been kind of out to sea outside of Carlos Boozer's kid rather. So that's my only hope when it comes to that. Otherwise, you sir will be doing much better than I because I think when we look at the
floating in mediocrity. I have no icon of anything next to me.
No, you're good. You are up
there.
Yeah, you're up about 90 points on me, which means you got at least 6 or 7 more right than I did between the 2 rounds. And then also, basically, I need you to just. The problem is we both have the same champ because, of course, we do. I need you to lose some other pieces of there, or I will be in trouble. So hey,
yeah, you need UConn to go down.
Mm-hmm.
But that means you're rooting for Michigan State, which, again, makes me happy. And I feel like no matter what the outcome is, I won this year.
Yeah.
Because you either have to root for Michigan State or Duke, which is dirty.
It's kind of not
just lose
where I want to be. Or just buy it. How much is a tomahawk steak again? I think I'm just going to have to look up tomahawk
I can't remember.
Steak price. It's going to be like $40 or something probably for a steak, but I can stomach that because that's about the price of a bottle anyways, and I'll enjoy it. So, yeah, not my best year for the bracket.
Yeah, but it's going to be 80, right? Because we each need a tomahawk here.
Shh, it's fine. We'll figure that out later.
Okay.
Just don't tell the wife. All right. I was hoping to win this one. Didn't happen. We're going to move off basketball now.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet.
No, it's not over yet, and that's part of the fun.
I will have just as much fun if I have to buy the tomahawks and be like, dude, you were rooting for State, rooting for Duke. I already said that, but it was worth saying again.
Yeah, what happens if State plays Duke in the Final Four?
Oh, goodness. The only cool thing. You know what?
Not Final
Four. Know what? As much as I refuse to root for Michigan State, it would be a ton of freaking fun if the championship was Michigan versus Michigan State.
Oh, yeah.
Assuming Michigan can get past Arizona.
Right.
Because that's another
tough one.
To me, I've thought they were the best 2 teams in the country this entire time. So it's sad because, in my opinion, the best 2 teams can't make it to the championship.
Yeah, with the way that the bracket's set up, it's usually tough for the 2 best teams to actually be the last 2 teams, just because of how everything works out there. But good news is we don't have to worry about that when it comes to the NFL draft. We just got to figure out whether or not the worst teams make the good decisions, and so we've been doing that to help these teams out. Since they're all listening to us and watching us, is we've been going through positional rankings so that everybody knows who they should be picking where, and we basically have 2 of the 2 biggest position groups when it comes to guys who get drafted today. Why don't you break down wide receivers for us?
Wide receiver, again, I just been going back to the 2004 metric here. So from 04 to this past year, the average was 34 wide receivers being drafted. But this one changed a little bit. The past 3 years, the average is 33. So basically the same, but went down 1, so we're only going to be doing 33 wide receivers for this show.
Now,
this year.
I'm going to throw a little curveball at you because we always know that there's a host of guys who get picked up as UDFAs who are like the next, I don't know, maybe give me a 6-pack of guys that aren't in your top 33, like that's in that back half that you think still have a shot to make a roster.
All right, so I'm not going to be doing this in order, and I have no idea if it's going to be 6 because I just have all my UDFAs in alphabetical order. So I'm going to just go down this and kind of look through them. I will say that for a minute, I thought I was mildly interested in Colin Lacey, despite him being a small guy, but then I found out he was 24 as well. So
same.
No. First guy I would say would be CJ Daniels from Miami. Has a shot. Maybe Colby. I don't know about Colby Young. CJ Daniels for sure. But man, for a minute I thought I was interested in Eric Singleton Jr. from Auburn too. I would say J. Michael Strudevant for some weird reason. He's done not a ton, but I feel like I've been interested in him a little bit for the past couple of years, and it just hasn't ever worked out. But I don't know. I guess if you're talking UDFA, why not?
Right.
I would say Iowa's Caden Wetjen will probably be drafted no matter what.
Because he's a returner.
Just because he's going to be a return man. So he's probably him and CJ Daniels are, I almost guarantee you, are my top two. Let me scroll through the rest of these. For a while, I thought I was super interested in both Reggie Virgil from Texas Tech and Romello Brinson from SMU. Squirrel White, just because his name's Squirrel.
Oh, right, of course.
But yeah, my top two would be Wetjen and Daniels.
Okay. Well, I will tell you this. You don't have to worry about Eric Singleton because he's going back to school. So,
is he really?
Oh, yeah. Just trying to keep things interesting.
That makes sense because he's only 26 anyway, so I'm going to put 20 or 26. 20.6.
20.6.
Young cat.
Look, some of the guys are close to 26. So I'm going to throw Jalen Walthall, Harrison Wallace III, and Chase Roberts were all guys that were right on the edge for me as well. So there's a lot of good but not great wide receivers in this class. Is kind of what it feels like to me.
Yeah, Harrison Wallace was in there too. Who was the last one you said? Chase Roberts?
Yeah.
Yeah, from BYU?
BYU boy, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mind him either.
And again, we're talking about guys that we think can hang on the back end of a roster. We're not talking about anybody you should be worrying too much about. But if your team's got some 7th-round picks, those are the names we're talking about.
I bet you Chase Roberts gets drafted, though.
I think he will. He's like I say, he's right on the edge of the guys that are in that ballpark. Put it this way: if anybody, in the next 6 guys after I have for my 33, that's why I threw the 6-pack at you, just because I feel like I'm not going to be thinking teams made terrible decisions if they pick these guys. Right? They're still in that window of take your shot at that point in the game. If you feel like they're going to be a UDFA anyways, you don't have to worry about trying to fight some other team for them. So, who do you have though in your 4th to 7th round tier? Because you're trying to do tier breaks rather than just like numbers.
I was saying I was going to do. Well, I'll give you the numbers and tell you the tier breaks, but the curveball I had is just to see if we can try to not make people listen to us for an hour and 25 minutes. Is to maybe just rip through the guys that we have day 3 grades on, and then kind of talk about them in groups from the 1st, 2nd, 3rd rounds. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Just piloting this, I guess, live. All right, starting at 33, 7th round tier. I'll let you know when I get out of there. So 33, I got Jeff Caldwell from Cincinnati. 32, I have Jalen Walthall, the guy you talked about there. 31, Eric Rivers, Georgia Tech. 30, Xavier Thomas, LSU. 29, Kevin Coleman Jr., Missouri. 28, a guy who I thought was going to move up my list a little bit, but I just haven't yet. We'll see, to be determined. Eric McAllister, TCU. 27, Max Tomczak. Right there. Dang it, I just put small school in it. Which one did he go to again?
Which one?
Tomczak.
No, I don't remember, actually.
It'll come to me. 26, the last of the 7th round tier, I got Hank Beatty from Illinois.
Oh, he's a Penguin. Youngstown State.
Yeah. Yep. So I had 2 small school. Walthall in there too. My 6th round tier consists of 2. I have my boy Lewis Bond from Boston College. Still need to go back and watch a little more tape and see, because I just felt like he was a guy I was a little more interested in than most, but we'll see. And then it's funny that it's Boston College. The other one's from Michigan. So like my 2 favorite outside of CMU college teams. Donovan McCulley, they're from Michigan. 5th round grade, Caleb Douglas, Texas Tech at 23. 22, Josh Cameron, Baylor. 21, Dazon Stribling. I have problems saying his name from Ole Miss. That's the end of the 5th round tier. So the last one before you rip, I guess I was supposed to be talking about guys along the way. So I guess I'll just backtrack a little bit before I do the 4th round. Macaulay, I'll just say, dude, super interested in him just because of his length and some of the things he can do, but he was just in such a weird situation at Michigan. Like, he didn't put up any, like, crazy numbers, so you don't know. Like, I put a 6th round dart throw on him, but, like, if he were in a system where he could have been used more, like, he could be a 4th round pick all day.
Yeah.
And Lewis Bond, I really like what I'd seen from him from Boston College, but he's just another smaller school guy, you know, and how do you factor that in? Well, I guess, I don't know.
He's not
a small school guy, and he's small.
Small,
it is what it is.
Size is the thing. There's no doubt when it comes to wide receiver. Like, you talked about this. You looked through and you did, like, the crunching of the numbers for guys that are below 6 foot, and the track record. Now, mind you, shifting a bit with offenses, but the track record is not great.
Not 6 foot. I didn't do it that big. What I did is I did all-time wide receivers who have at least, what did I do? At least 500 catches in their career, which it sounds like a lot, but we're talking guys like Cole Beasley's on this list, okay? You know what I mean?
A 10-year career.
That's just because you
50 catches a year on average.
That's how you got there. So when you go all-time, anyone who is I did do under 6 foot, didn't I?
Yeah, because that was the thing you were saying. Like, that was your cutoff point. It seemed like most of the guys under 6 foot, that was the cutoff for sizes. Because you have some tiny guys out there that are making some noise, but then they get in the NFL, and like Tez Johnsons don't just pop up every year. There's always outliers, but there's a reason why they're called outliers.
Yeah, so I did anyone under 6 foot, and then I averaged between that whole group of people under 6 foot who've got 500 more catches, and the average is 5'10", 187. And if you look at all 5'10", 187-pound wide receivers since 2004 when I was collecting all this data, right? Of the 707 wide receivers that have been drafted since 2004, only 15 of 707 have been sub 6 foot and gotten to that mark.
2%.
So that's a 2.12% chance of hitting on a guy who's going to be there for your team for a period of time. Yeah, a long-term contributing player.
When we're talking about 4th, 5th, 6th round guys, you know, 7th round guys, day 3 guys, shoot your shot. Yeah, but this is where the people who are putting some of these guys in the top couple rounds, which we'll talk about a little later on, might make you a little bit nervous. So you have one more 4th rounder for me? Yeah,
I got the 4th round tier. 20, I got Brennan Thompson, the speedster from Mississippi State. I just feel like some people were probably like, dude, you got to put him up higher. Like, he could be such a threat with weapon. He's 5'9", 160 something. So he's below that average I even just gave you.
Right.
But every year I just feel like whoever the fastest guy at the combine is, it's just you're almost guaranteed to be a bust. We should get some numbers on that. Right. When's the last time the fastest guy at the combine's done anything?
It's been a minute.
Yep. All right, 19, Deion Burks, Oklahoma. 18, Tyron Montgomery. Another small school, Ted Hurst. Another small school, Panthers. At 17. Also, Bryce Lance at 16. Small school if you want to.
We finally got one we matched up on.
And then the last one in the 4th round grade is Jacoby Lane from USC. The only thing I want to say, because I don't want to talk about all these guys, so you got something to talk about.
Time for that.
Is just Bryce Lance, man. Like, if he wasn't going to be 25 years old during, like, week 2 of the NFL season, tell me that you would not have him higher than 16, because we apparently both do.
Yeah, the guy, I mean, again, the two knocks on Bryce Lance are age and competition level. Now, mind you, the North Dakota State is great for the FCS. He played against FCS guys. I'm not going to be the kind of person, I think one of the guys on McShay show, whatever, was shading the crap out of him. It might have been McShay. It's one of the two boys. Was absolutely taking him to town for playing against lower tier competition. I was like, look, here's the thing. Some of those plays he made at lower tier.
He dominated, though.
That's my point. Some of the plays he made lower tier would have been harder to make in FBS at a Power 4 school. Some of those plays he would have smoked anybody in the country on. So let's not forget.
Yeah.
He still ran a 4.34. I don't care where he's playing football.
At 6'3", 204.
Exactly. He will go.
He's got a little over 32-inch arms too.
All I'm saying, I have him at 16, just like you've got him at 16. For me, he's a 3rd round grade.
Oh, damn. Okay. I only have, my 3rd round grades don't start till 14, obviously, because I just did a 15. So
I
nudged just go a little
nudged
deeper.
up a little bit. Yeah. I mean, my 3rd round grade started at 17, so we're not that far off.
Gotcha. All right. Are you ripping through your?
Is there anybody else you want to talk about in your group?
No, that's it. I went 33 to 15. I can't talk about them all.
There's a few names. A lot of the names crossed over. I think I got a couple extra that you didn't talk about, and there's probably a few that I need to shuffle in. And there's a few that are in the same tier, but in different parts of the tiers. This is where it gets fun. So 33 with Barry and Brown from LSU. And then Vinny Anthony, the second from Wisconsin's 32, 31, Caleb Douglas, like you talked about from Texas Tech, 30, down in McCully. Kendrick Law from Kentucky's 29, Kevin Coleman, Missouri, 28. This is where I have Brennan Thompson at 27, so I even have him lower than you do. Because again, yes, he can fly, but he's going to get breathed on and fly off the
only
field.
Reason I just put him in the 4th round grade because here you are in day 3, you're shooting shots anyways, and maybe this guy can be a special teams like return guy. I don't know.
Well, yeah, and I've got him.
I got him at his ceiling.
Right. Yeah.
I wouldn't touch him in the first 2 days of the draft.
Yeah, I think I've got him a little lower than that. I think I've probably got him like borderline 5th, 6th, just because again, he's fast, yes, but right, and that's the question. A guy his size, the longevity in the NFL is not there. As a return man, definitely more potential for that. There's a reason why he's in, and our guy from Iowa is just outside. Wetchin's just outside because Wetchin's.
I got to get Wetchin in there. I think he's got to get him.
I want him to be in there, and I want whatever team gets him. I hope he makes a team, right? And he's got a very good chance as a return man.
He's going to. He's going to get drafted too.
But he is like, I feel like Brennan Thompson. He's got a little more size than Thompson. Thompson is a return man that can catch the ball a little better, I think, than Wetchin so far throughout their career. So that's where he gets a little bit of the bump, and he's obviously a little bit faster. Jordan Hudson from Southern Methodist is at 26. Dylan Bell from Georgia at 25. This is where I had Jeff Caldwell, who from Cincinnati, who definitely helped his stock with what he did at the combine.
He is 25 already.
Yeah, also that. But then there's something weird about his body style, right? The guy looked like he had almost, he did not have the upper body definition I expected, which makes me think the dude's just got legs for days, right? When you look at his body style, because it's 6'5", 216, and ran a 4.31. So he's got potential. Again, same reason why people are up for Bryce Lance. I just like Lance a little bit better overall. Xavier Thomas is at 23. Deion Burks, 22. Malik Benson from Oregon at 21. Aaron Anderson from Louisiana State, another tiny guy, tiny height. He's 5'8", 191, so he's a little bowling ball as a wide receiver, is at 20. CJ Daniels is 19 for me. Did not expect that when I started doing the look around, but I really like him for his size and what he seemed like he was able to do at Miami. And then 18.
I think Wetchin and Daniels, I got to get in there, I think.
Sure. 18 for the end of my 4th round tier is Jacoby Lane, which is about where you had him roughly in the same ballpark. And this is where I'm going to put a name on here, and maybe you need to talk me into moving him up. The rest of the world has him well above this. 17, one spot below Bryce Lance, Malachi Fields.
Oof. All right, I'll talk about Malachi when I get there.
We'll talk about him when you get there, but that's where I'm at. That's my tier, and I think we kind of talked about everybody that I wanted to put in there, but a lot of these are either short guys that have some production, but you're nervous about the size and how it translates, or big-bodied guys that are more athletic dart throws. Those are the two camps that I kind of have for this group.
The only other thing I would add is the small school guys that did well, and you just don't know how they're going to translate, so that I would add that to that. And
honestly, you're doing better. I'll give you this. This year, you're doing better finding the small school guys than I am. That's usually my thing. But this year, you're doing better than I am with that. I gotta step it up here.
Challenge was accepted from last year.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Time for the 3rd round grades. And this goes 14 all the way up to 5.
I believe that.
Okay. 14, Casey Concepcion. I feel like we have to talk about him. Okay. Here's the thing. I actually like his tape quite a bit. I really do.
Did you watch the drops?
Well, I'm getting there. I like his tape quite a bit. All right. I honestly do. The only problem is I like a lot of the wide receivers, obviously, that I have up above him better. But then you factor in the double-digit drop rate. It's kind of terrifying. So, yes, I have a 3rd round grade on him. Obviously, I know that he's going to go in the second round, maybe late first, which is completely rubbish to me. Absolute rubbish. But there you go. So I talked about him. And then I got to talk about wide receiver number 13.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I went back and I watched some tape.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
I had to move Chris Bell way down.
I have Chris Bell higher than you. That's funny.
Because I liked. Well, there's two reasons he moved down. He is better than 13 in this class,
right?
100%. But it had been a while since I'd seen his tape because of the injury. You didn't go back and you watch it, and he seems to be like a really good route runner. He seems to be like a strong wide receiver. I mean, his body's just looks way different. Seems to have really good hands. But I just couldn't help it. All the wide receivers, at least most of the wide receivers I have above him,
right?
They just have this talent of when they have the ball in their hand,
like
what they can create after the catch. Like he just seems like he catches the ball and he runs towards somebody and then just kind of throws and lunges or something and goes down. You know what I mean? Like he's not doing what some of these other guys do, or like creating more yardage. Like he basically takes what's given to him and goes down. And I look at how strong and thick of a wide receiver he is, and it's like, dude, make a move, throw a stiff arm, whip somebody. I don't know.
Put it this way: Chris Bell, Colin Lacey. We talked about Lacey briefly, who's obviously a shorter guy and is maybe in different position of scheme. Chris Bell averaged 5.2 yards after a catch. Colin Lacey averaged 8. Now, again, part of that might be depth of target, whatever, but it still shows you.
And I didn't even look at that. I'm just talking about what I see on tape.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And then the other reason is just the obvious ACL tear.
Right.
So between the two, let's be honest. Between the yak and the ACL, wow, a lot of acronyms going around here.
Right.
Yeah, I bumped him down. Maybe 13's too low. I don't know. We'll see.
You could be reacting to being disappointed in your man. He's tied for 72nd for guys who had at least 20% of the snap share for this year. So it gives you a ballpark of where he's at. So continue.
12, I have your boy, who I think we're going to figure out what guy we're betting on during this episode.
You put him at 12?
12, I have Elijah Surratt at 12.
Rude. Continue.
So he's there. You can talk about him. 11, I guess I got to stop and talk here because 11's Malachi Fields, man.
Oh, all right.
So here's the thing. Elijah Surratt, like, you talk about him. All I'll say is I just felt like
I'll talk about Surratt when we get there.
Solid at everything, but like I don't see anything like he's just great. He doesn't have that special attribute, but he's just really good at everything.
Malachi Fields and his 4.61 in front of Elijah Surratt.
Yeah, I don't care about 40 times wide receivers. You know that. So the reason I put Malachi Fields up there above him is just because Nope. I just actually really, really like everything I see from him on tape. The way he attacks the football, high points it, the energy, the motor he plays with. Everything looks fantastic. If you go YouTube a highlight reel of Malachi Fields, you're like, holy shit, how's this guy not in top 5 or 6? And then you go look, why was this highlight reel so small? Dude, the dude only had 36 catches. I can't make that make sense. Like he must have made the most out of every single time they targeted him. He looks really good. I hate that his hands are borderline too small
for a 6'4" guy.
Well, they're small for his size for sure. I don't even like the fact that he's going to be 24 during the season. I can't help it. I really like his tape. I just wonder. Why is it so small? Why was he not used more? It's not like Notre Dame doesn't throw the football.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like when you look at his numbers over the course of his career, he's had catches the last 3 seasons, right? When you talk about what he did at Virginia and then what he did this year at Notre Dame. But his 2 years at Virginia, he's in the 50s with the catches. And this year he's in, the 30s. Jordan Faison had 49 catches for Notre Dame this year.
Yeah.
Was it? I mean, you can maybe make a claim it's because Fields was getting bracketed. They had more pressure his way or whatever. But I just think
but even then, I don't know.
He feels like a guy who doesn't get separation the way he needs to. And maybe that's something you can teach him. But that's my biggest concern is
it
seems like he made great
disagree
catches
with
because he
that.
had to.
Yeah, but he can do it.
He can do it. And again, he's 6'4".
know?
He will get
You could
a
make the
job.
same argument for all the guys who are great separators, and you're like, man, can they make a contested catch? Can they make a tough catch if they need to? They just get open all the time. Can they get that open at the NFL? I don't know. But anyways,
and as much as we don't talk 40 times as the be-all, end-all, he ain't getting open that often at the NFL level unless they scheme him open. I'm sorry. Just not going to do it.
Why? 4.61?
Yeah.
Isn't that the same thing?
He's not Jerry Rice.
Isn't that the same thing that St. Brown just did?
Yeah, St. Brown's a little bit quicker, I think.
He's quicker, but his 40 times, I think split the same. 4.6, 40 time.
If you're going to split a route, like you're going to have St. Brown's going to come open faster than
he's a better route runner. So I'm not even trying to say that. I'm just saying the 40 times not an all be all, man.
No, it is an all be all. But Malachi Fields is a big body. He definitely has a place for a team, but that's why I have him at the back end of the third round. And you got him kind of in the middle of the third round, right?
Nope. He's in the back end because I got a big third round grade. Remember, I'm going 14-5 here.
So you're in the midst of third round too. So really, we're splitting hairs here. It's mostly you got him a few spots above me, but we both think he's a third round, back end of the third round kind of guy who might also go in the first round.
Yeah, he could. I don't think he will, but he could.
He's getting
10. I have Antonio Williams from Clemson. And then I get to this. I don't know what we call him, the nasty 9. I don't know. I really like the top 9 is where I saw like a little bit of a tier break, but not enough, obviously, from 5 to 9 to put him as a second round grade or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But 9, I have Zachariah Branch.
Hey, we tied again.
Did we? Man, he does not fit that success rate of all the numbers I just had provided from wide receivers for height and weight and production.
He is the
and this and that.
best shorty in the draft, though.
Man, like basically, I was telling you off the show that he does remind me a lot of Zay Flowers, but I had a legitimate first round grade on Zay Flowers. I have a tough time talking myself into Branch being a second round grade. Love him as a third. He should go in the second round.
Right.
So there's that.
Yeah.
But I can't do it.
But he's just...
You only want to call your shot on the little guys
tell you what,
once
man,
in a while.
He's angrier than Zay Flowers, though, when he gets the football in his hands. It's like
I don't know about that.
The way he runs more viciously than Zay does. If you look at the way
they still both have like this motor to them that I like a lot.
Different manifestation of the motor. Like Zay's motor kind of comes out more smooth, in my opinion. Like Zay's like an electric car, and Zachariah's like a diesel.
Yeah, put it this way,
he's the little diesel. So I'm calling him right now. Shaq, hit me up.
If you could give me like 2 inches and like even like 10, 12 more pounds on Zachariah Branch, I'm putting him in probably the top 3 or 4.
If he was like 5'11 and 190, he would be up there, 100%.
Yeah.
Body shaming season, full tilt right now.
All right. Damn, I want to talk about all these guys. 8, I have Chris
10 seconds on each guy. Oh, okay.
I know. 8, I have Chris Brazzell. He's a guy. I absolutely love his tape. Like I love his body control, his balance, the way he just adjusts to the ball wherever it's at and catches it. But my goodness, does he have like? And I forget somebody's just talking about how he does every single route on one side of the field.
I was gonna say, it's like, does he run more than 2 routes? It'd be my first question.
He runs more than 2 routes, but he only plays one side of the ball.
So like corners used to do. Like he can't turn left. Is he Zoolander?
Yeah, which is a bad attribute because historically,
it's not ideal.
Man, someone else was just talking about this too.
Because
they were talking about how like they could only come up with like 3 wide receivers that are even in the NFL that did that, and it's like DJ Moore is one of them. Okay. But basically, data, and I haven't pulled this data, so I'm not claiming this to be my own, but someone else has pulled the data and said that in college, if you're a wide receiver and you only play on one side of the field, then your bust rate is extremely high.
Not great.
So, and he does that. Like he only played on the other side of the field one play. Had to be the PFF.
One play?
Had to be the PFF guys. For the last 2 years, he did one play on the opposite side of the field.
And just shook it up for a second.
Every other snap was every other snap was on the one side of the field. It must be
even
in the PFF
your pups can't
data.
believe that.
Nope, they're cruising around. But anyways, I really like his tape. I love his speed. I love his height, his length. I love the way he adjusts to the football. Just don't know if he can run actually, I know he probably can't run a complete route tree.
Not
I
yet.
think it has a couple branches on it. It's about it. But the side of the field thing's scary. But I still like him. I'd take
He's looking like
especially in the third round.
I know.
I'd take
He's looking like
a
a Peanuts Christmas tree right now, man.
Right. 7, Jeremy Bernard, Alabama. 6, Omar Cooper Jr., Indiana.
Okay.
And then 5, I forget if I've been saying this on all the positions, but if there is a my guy of the wide receiver group, it's him. It is Skylar Bell.
Yep.
UConn.
I knew it would be Skylar. I knew he'd be the guy that was at the top of that tier. Yep.
Yeah.
I understand that.
And that's the end of my third round tier. So
we'll jump in and see if there's anybody else you want to talk about with mine. 15. Yeah, 15 for me. Casey Concepcion. We just talked about that. 14 is where I have Antonio Williams. Obviously, I like him a little better than you do. But Ted Hurst, or do you have Antonio Williams ahead of me? Do I have that flip flop in my head? Oh, then I'm the hater. Whoops.
You're a hater.
Maybe I'm just being salty on him because I had him so much higher at the beginning of the year. I guess that's
the whole world did, but
my Clemson.
I still like quite a bit.
Yeah,
actually, if you really look at it, I said that 9 is where I saw the break. I still do like Antonio Williams quite a bit. So I'd say really after 10 is where it starts to get scary.
Sure. And I'm not disagreeing with you there.
Not scary, more risky. Like
and that's the thing.
I know not all 10 are going to work. Because you got to figure probably 5 of those 10 are going to work, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of the wide
picking out
receiver
the
class.
5 that aren't are scary. Well, we know Jordan Tyson isn't going to work just because he gets hurt. But he's probably the best one in the class.
Yeah, we'll talk about him in a minute. But yeah, 13. So 14, Tony Williams. 13, Ted Hurst, who you mentioned. 12. This is where I get to tell you. You need to watch some tape and tell me if I'm insane or not. This is where I have Eric McAllister from Texas Christian.
Oh, the guy that I literally said I thought I was going to like a little more, and I
want
didn't.
you to watch again for my sake.
I'll highlight him
to see if I'm crazy. I might be because he was well down my list too. When I saw 6'3" and 5'8", 194, again, not huge hands, whatever. Didn't test at the combine, but watching the tape,
his hands are solid. They're 9 3/4. That's solid.
I have 9 1/4. Maybe I wrote it down wrong. But at any rate, if 9 3/4, I'm fine. With 9 1/4, that's my hand size, and I'm not 6'3". That's my point. But watching him, the way he just. That dude has a quick first step for his height, at least the stuff that I was seeing. So maybe I'm a little crazy, but I liked him when I was going through the tape. 11, Chris Bell. 10 is where I have Chris Brazel. 9, Zachariah Branch mentioned. 8 is where I have Omar Cooper Jr. People are going
we tied
nuts
on Branch?
about him. Yeah, we tied on Branch.
Nice.
Yep. People are going nuts about Omar Cooper Jr.
Let's
I like him, but people are putting him in the first round now. He is the new first-round guy.
I don't hate it.
He's up ahead of Denzel Boston for people.
I don't hate it. But what I wanted to say, though, is like, something you and I were talking off here too. So Omar Cooper Jr., Jeremy Bernard. So you tell me live because this is something I asked you to go look at.
I did.
I'm telling you. I swear they play. Oh, they're both 22.3 years old too. They're the same freaking guy. Their uniforms are the same colors. They're the same age. As soon as the ball gets in their hand, they're the same guy.
They are not.
I don't know if I feel like they're the same route runners or anything like that.
Okay, you know what?
It's kind of close. But once they catch the ball,
I'll give you
their energy and what they do. They play
because
they similar with the ball in hand.
Right, pre-ball, I think they're different, but yeah, post-ball, I'll give you that. Sure. And I will say this though, for Omar
I like them both a ton.
Omar can sky a little more than Jeremy can. I like Jeremy better than Omar. So I got Omar at 8. I got Skylar Bell at 7. Jeremy Bernard is at 6. Did you go to 5?
I went to 5.
Yeah. 5 for me. This is where Elijah Surratt sits because you're a hater.
Aha. So is the bet Skylar Bell versus Elijah Surratt?
Or is it Omar Cooper Jr. versus Elijah Surratt?
I'll take either one.
Do we bet on the Indiana boys one versus the other? Or if you want to do Skylar Bell, you love Skylar Bell, so I'm fine with you doing Skylar Bell because of how much you love that boy. I know you'd rather bet with Skylar Bell.
I would, but it is fun to do Hoosier versus Hoosier, so let's roll.
Yeah. At what point did you think we were going to be making bets about which Hoosier wide receiver is going to do better in the NFL?
Watch them both suck, and Mendoza's just a baller.
No.
Look great.
Maybe, right? Yeah, no. There's no way that's the case. I mean, when you look at the plays, Omar Cooper Jr., I will say this. Cooper Jr. had the highlight catch of the season with that toe tap against Penn State. There's no doubt about that. In the back of the
end zone?
No doubt about that, but I still like Surratt better. Top 4.
Top 4. We already could guess. Top 4A are all second-round grades. While I really, really like this wide receiver class, I just don't see that true alpha going to put a first-round grade on them.
So, do you see any of these guys as a surefire day one number 1 wide receiver? Because I don't. Some could turn into that.
Can you guarantee me health?
Well, yeah, sure. If you guarantee you health, Jordan Tyson probably would be one of them.
Yeah, but Tyson would have a first-round grade for me if he didn't have like 3 or 4 season-ending surgeries or injuries, whatever.
Well, both.
Yeah, I would say him.
But that's my point. Otherwise, you got a whole lot of 2s that might develop into 1.
I could see Tate.
Agrees?
Yep, that's Zala.
And Tate could, and that's my point. Tate has the potential to be, but has never had to be, and so I'm not going to start off thinking he's my number 1 guy. I'm just not going to draft him expecting that day one.
I guess I'm doing this in a weird order because Carnell Tate is my number 1. Jordan Tyson is my number 4, who is the best one in the class. He's only at 4 because of the injuries.
We might have the same top 4 in the same order.
Oh, there we go. I doubt it.
Maybe.
Because my heart was broken. Mekhi Lemon is now 3 for me because I cannot get past the 8.3
baby
or
hands.
8 3/4 hands. He catches the ball so good. I totally agree. It scares the hell out of me. It just does. I've said that usually I look for the 10-inch hands, which who's got Skylar Bell and Carnell Tate both got over 10 plus. But there you go.
Drew Bernard is almost
number 2. Is he?
Right.
And I like Bernard too. Man. Surratt's got 10.
We got the same top 4.
So is Chris Bell.
Order.
Do we really? That's
there you
hilarious.
Go.
I like it.
See?
It was easy then. No bets there.
I'm telling you, that's why I like Surratt better. Bigger hands.
Get out of it. Well, Skylar Bell's who I was going to bet, and they are tied on hands. Only Skylar Bell is, I think, if you round up, 6 foot.
There you go. Right. It's like now we're starting to fudge numbers like everybody else does and make them believe whatever you want to believe. But the point is, we have this setup. So there's no like true number 1 wide receiver in this class, in our opinion, right now. Guys who could hypothetically develop into that. We both like Denzel
Tyson,
Boston
if he makes it.
If he stays healthy, and you cannot trust that with the number of injuries he's had. Denzel Boston,
we like
I think,
Boston
is going to
way more than the general population, I guess.
And I think people are leaning on the combine when he drops a few balls. And I can't let that completely, wash over the entire body of work when the guy has pretty good jumping. He's got great size. His arms are great. His hands are big. He's not huge.
Just
but
go
big
watch
enough.
the tape.
Right,
He
exactly.
wasn't dropping balls in college. The combine not everybody can do the combine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just like some people can do the combine and can't actually play football.
Well, I like to point out, he did most of the combine fine. But he wasn't quite as good as some of the other guys.
But you know what I'm saying? How many times do you see the workout warriors who just bamboozle you?
Right, exactly. We're going to try not to get bamboozled.
Actually, the Bengals got completely bamboozled by Stewart.
We knew somebody would, and it couldn't have happened to a better team. I mean, come on now.
Hey, they're one of my soft spot teams. You calm down. They draft terrible though.
It's all right. If you want to like something from Ohio, go for it. I mean, I kind of don't mind the Browns, so that's why it's funny.
Well, I'm sorry. I know it's in Ohio. I count them as Kentucky.
Fair. I mean, the Browns are almost in the lake, so can I call them Erie instead of Ohio?
Sure.
All right. I like it. Okay. Before we get on to cornerbacks, what are you drinking, sir?
I am drinking one of the beers that was funny because I was waiting to talk about it on the show, and I was avoiding checking into it on the app for a little bit because I didn't want you to see that I tasted it, and then you, sir, dropped another one off for me because you didn't think that I had it because you didn't know that I had it.
I was hoping we'd double up. Look at that. Little Baltic Porter action, baby.
Well, we're drinking the same beer, but look, I have proof, Dan.
No, I know you have too because I saw you check into the first one.
Oh, did you?
After I bought this one.
I did?
Yeah, after I bought this one. And the reason why I got this was because I saw it and it said limited release, and I'm like, ooh, maybe JP doesn't have this one. He doesn't have this Kosmicki's Collection Baltic Porter from Founders, which again, 8.5. It is a porter, and it is a well-done porter, right? I mean, I feel like
I absolutely love it.
It's a
I don't know
classic
what I
for a
graded
reason.
it, but I absolutely love it just because it's bitter, it's roasty, it has the coffee, but very subtle coffee vibe in it. Like,
you know me,
I
I'll
don't.
take subtle.
Here's the question: what would you change about this? What would improve it? I can't. That's why I come up short with it.
Well, and this is where I go back to when you look at beers. I kind of do the degree of difficulty thing.
Like, I think this has to be at least a 3.75.
I thought it was at least a 3.5. Couldn't remember exactly what it was, but this is where you get into the degree of difficulty scale, right? Like a guy who does a crazier dive or a lady who does a crazier move in gymnastics, whatever, is going to have a higher baseline. Like a base porter is going to have a very good baseline, but maybe not like an elite baseline. So the best porter in the world might not quite hit the best IPA or hazy IPA or stout, depending on how you phrase things. What do you got? 3.75? Is that what that is? There you go.
That's what I gave it in the past.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone else gave it a 4.04 average.
And I understand that. Like this is a borderline 4 beer. It really is, because when you got to do it by quarter points, this is like a 3.9, right? And and it's an incredibly well done beer that doesn't insist upon itself, right? Like there's some beers out there that you've talked about that have artificial flavors, et cetera, or whatever, that are trying too hard to be something. This is not trying too hard to be anything. Exactly. This is just being exactly what it is, to the extent that I got about 3 ounces left and half a show to do. So a little awkward. Anything else you want to talk about while we're on the beer topic?
Yeah, I tried one that I don't know if I checked into this one yet. I may have, but it's another Founders. I was saving it for when we talk about it. Mm-hmm. But have you had the Founders KBS caramel? How do you say it? Caramel or caramel?
Caramel, it's up to you. Either way is fine. Caramel just sounds better to me, but caramel, take your pick.
They were saying on the PFF podcast the other day, like, how do you say the city that the Lions play in? Say it.
What, Detroit?
Say it again.
Supposed to Detroit? Is that the argument? Detroit versus Detroit? Damn. Is that the pronunciation argument?
Yeah, that's what they were debating on the show, and like their whole little chat thing. Everybody says it's the Detroit Lions.
It is.
Sycama's the only one that says Detroit, but I say Detroit. Is it because of like Detroit basket? I don't know.
Exactly, that's my point.
I live there.
It is.
I live there. I say Detroit.
It's the Detroit Lions. No, it's the Detroit
I say
Lions.
Detroit.
Unless you want to make a point, then it's the Detroit Lions. Like it's the emphasis, but only when you're really trying to make a point.
I feel like I always say Detroit Lions.
And it's definitely because you grew up when the Pistons were a thing in the early mid 2000s, and it was Detroit basketball. Because saying Detroit basketball just doesn't work.
But I'm telling you, I lived there, and like nobody. I don't know that anybody ever pointed it out that I say it wrong, and I don't know that I ever noticed.
I don't think you say it
two different ways.
Because I don't think that's wrong. That's my point. It's like there's certain things where it's like caramel and caramel. I mean, this is incredibly important football topic, but caramel and caramel, I don't think neither of those are wrong in my opinion, right? Like for example, if you go to Melbourne, Australia, and say Melbourne, that's wrong. It's Melbourne. Right, you go to other places like people. For example, what's hot right now?
Louisville,
Louisville, and Louisville. Right, but or Louisville for some people. But what's hot right now? Right, it's Thursday, March 26th. Some stuff is happening over in another part of the world. A lot of people say Iran. It's Iran. You didn't run anywhere. Right, so
it's Iran.
Yeah, there's phrasing that people just use differently, and that's my best example for that one. When we're talking about cities, countries, whatever it is. People's like Iraq, Iran. No, it's Iraq, Iran, because you don't call it Italy. It's Italy. Right? There's a way to say it. And that's only us through English saying countries. What is Germany in German? It's not Germany. It's Deutschland, right?
No. Yeah.
And that's what's funny. The British did that to us. So, good work them.
I derailed us with that caramel thing.
Let's jump over the corners.
So yeah. Well, no, I gotta at least talk about the beer. So the Founders KBS caramel. That's how I like to say it.
Knock that out.
Better.
Love it.
Absolutely enjoyed the hell out of this beer. I think I just checked into it. I gave it a 3.75 as well.
Okay.
This one has so much potential if you're a big caramel fan, and I thought I was too, but then I quickly got
it's too sweet for you,
slapped in the palate about the sweetness on it. And I was like, the only reason I didn't I really liked it a lot. But it was just like, as I was drinking it, I was like, there's zero shot I could have a second one of these. I mean, it's a 12%er anyways. But
that hasn't stopped you before.
But it was almost like I got halfway through it, and I was like, man, if this were in a flight, I would have graded this a 4, maybe 4.25.
That's the challenge.
But now that I'm about 7 ounces into this thing, I'm like, my tongue has had it.
Yeah, challenge it. It really
Like,
is.
it's tapping out.
We've had a few beers like that where a pint of it is too much, but 5 ounces of it is great.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. So,
Okay, but again, let's go back to if you like the sweeter dark beers, you're probably gonna love that one, especially if you already like a KBS.
Yeah, you would. Absolutely.
Because there are plenty
And
of
it
people who put the caramel in their macchiato, man. You know,
And it doesn't hit. You know, you don't. It's not like you're tasting 12% alcohol in that
There you
sucker. You just don't. It tastes like dessert.
dangerous.
All right.
Wide receivers are done. Corners are up now, and I think for the most part, we've managed to split off corners from safeties, right? So, how many cornerbacks
We have
been drafted over the last couple of years?
Flip the numbers of the wide receivers, and you got it. You know, since 2004, it's been 33, but the last 3, it's been 34. So they've traded places.
There you go, then. That pretty much covers it.
Quick analysis there. So, all right, starting at 34.
With your tier.
Here we
by the
go.
way.
With my tier. So, I got to go 34 all the way to 11. So this one's probably going to go quicker, man.
Ha.
Okay, here we go. 7th round grade tier. Brian Blades the second from Florida International. You knew, come on.
Okay. Yeah.
Detroit Lions fan.
He
you
honestly,
know I'm getting.
he did not make my list. He's right on the edge, though.
He's the first cornerback I graded. I was like, he's probably
that.
not good enough to get drafted, but he's going to be at 34 just because of the pedigree.
Well,
Love
yeah, good pedigree.
Yeah. 33, I got Xavier Scott, who could
Really?
maybe sort of be considered a safety. Well, dude, the injury, I still don't know a ton about it. You know what I mean? I didn't watch a ton of his tape pre this season, and I was super high on him from early on in the year.
I got him down as safety. Still, I have to move him.
He could be. He could be. He can play either, I think, but just not a lot there. Andre Fuller, Toledo at 32, 31. Jermaine Matthews Jr., Ohio State. 30, Ricardo Hallman, Wisconsin. 29. This is a guy that a lot of people are starting to like move up boards. Maybe I got to go back and watch the tape. I didn't see it from the first run through, but TJ Hall from Iowa. 28, Devin Moore, Florida. Another guy that people are moving up quite a bit that I did go back and watch, and I still don't see
Same.
Is who?
Talk about him in a minute, but continue to go through the rest of the tier. We'll come back to Devin Moore in a minute. Continue.
Oh, yeah, that's not who I was talking about, but yeah, I didn't really see it much with him either. I was talking about Will Lee III from Texas A&M, a guy that I thought I had seen it on tape and then went back and watched it and was like, yeah, maybe I don't. And that's, I think it's Jadon's how he says his name, Jadon Kennedy from Oregon.
Okay, sure.
25, I got Colin Wright from Stanford. 24, Thaddeus Dixon from North Carolina. 23, a guy that I thought was going to be an absolute stud in college because he was once rumored to go to Michigan, and he didn't. He went to Bama. Man, Damani Jackson.
Yep.
Just absolutely rough on tape. But you just look at the attributes and the size and everything. Yeah, he should be, and he's just not. So he's my top 7th round grade guy. 6th round, I only got 3 of them. Latrell McCutcheon Sr. from Houston. 21, Ephesians.
Yep.
Probably suck.
Ephesians.
Coolest name in the draft, maybe?
Yeah, that's a book of the Bible right there, son.
Yeah.
And Prysock's a cool last name, too, so.
Yeah. Washington. And then 20, I got Toriano Pride Jr. from Missouri. That's the end of the 6th round grade. 5th round grade. Devin Marshall, North Carolina. I got a little small school guy here, and Charles Demings at 18.
Love him.
I don't know if you do? Okay. Right. 17, I got Josh Moten, Southern Miss. 16, a guy that we both liked him a lot. Then I can't speak for you. I did not like him, and I kind of wrote him off. And then all of a sudden, I started going back and digging in his tapes. Like, dude, I actually kind of like him. So he could move up. It's Sicario Davis from Washington. 4th round grades, right? Here we go. Sorry, Dan. 15, I got your boy Chandler Rivers.
Rude.
14, I have Keontae Scott, who I actually like his tape quite a bit, but it's tough to think he's going to be a 25-year-old corner.
That's the disadvantage.
That's a huge disadvantage, but I actually like his tape quite a bit. But I'm not saying like he'd be up there like in the top 4 or anything, but I like him way more than 14, but a 25-year-old corner, whew. 13, I have David, a guy that I thought I liked. Well, his tape 2 years ago was awful, and I had zero interest in him. This year, because he was handsy and getting penalties and things like that, this past year his tape was a hell of a lot better, and I was super interested based on size. That's Davison Ignaboson.
Mm-hmm.
And man, he just looks so stiff and rough at the combine. Neither one of us were impressed. So I don't know. He moved down quite a bit for me. 12, Hezekiah Masses, Cal.
Sure.
Dude, are they like the new DBU?
I mean,
I like him quite a bit actually. 12, he's got a shot.
You like who
moving
they
up
have
too, just like Takario. And then 11, I have Keith Abney the second. He fell because he is tiny.
Hater.
And, yeah,
hating on little guys.
yeah. He's like 5'9" and change, man. He was up there as my CB3 for a brief minute.
Yeah.
He does not look that small on tape. Maybe I got to go back. Maybe he can just play bigger than what he is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like a Mikey Sanders still. We'll see. But
potentially,
he's the end of the 4th round grade.
And he's almost 4'10". He's almost 5'10". And I'd like to point out that you have 10 guys that you have 3rd round grades or better on, right?
Yep.
That's my point. Like, there's a lot of corners. And people talk about this being a deep cornerback class, and I agree to an extent. There's some depth there, but there's a lot of questions in that depth, right? So let me run through my guys real quick. There's a couple that I think Colin Wright just missed mine, but I have Devin Moore at 33. And real quick, we'll pause there.
Oh, really? Okay.
This is a guy who at 6'3", 198, I mean, maybe he ends up being a safety. It might be better off for him. When I watched his tape, I just wasn't impressed. I feel like I should have been, right? Because people are talking about him as a high riser. He's got
baby hands, too, for that size.
Yeah, amongst other things, right? Because his speed isn't bad, right? His size is great, but it just seemed like the highlights.
Well, he ran a 4.5 40. That's actually that's solid. No, not for a corner.
That's not. Where do you have?
What do you have
for the good number for a corner?
The good number based on what I had, and I wrote down what Daniel Jeremiah did. Believe it or not, the past few seasons, if you look at the stud corners in the NFL, the average 40 times a 4.39.
Well, then he's screwed. All he is tall. Maybe he's a safety.
He's well, then he's screwed. Like that was Brad's little validated thing as you're trying to just smash on this guy as soon as you're trying to defend his speed, and I threw some facts at you, and you're like, perfect.
Well, that's the problem. I mean, that was the thing that I was like, all right, this guy's got size and he's got speed. Well, he's got size. At least he's got that going for him, right? And again, maybe this is why he is somebody who can shift over to safety, because I didn't see great coverage when I watched him personally.
4.5 for a safety? That's fine.
Right, and that's my point. So maybe he's the guy who's going to shift over a little bit better for him. Well, Latrell McCutcheon...
He might not have a choice.
Also true.
Just saying.
Latrell McCutcheon Sr. from Houston is at 32. 31, Marcus Allen, not that Marcus Allen, from North Carolina. Jalen Gulibau from Texas is at 30. 29, TJ Hall, pretty close to where you had him.
He's exactly where I had him.
There you go. Nice. I didn't know if we had him tied. TJ Hall is 29. Andre Fuller is 28 from Toledo. I've seen people put him up a little higher than that as well. And so that's interesting to see how that's playing out. 27, don't hate me. And maybe I've got some Buckeye bias going here, but that's where I've got Ebrinosen. I was not impressed when I went back to watch him. He can lay some wood, and that's it. That feels like the only thing he can do well is hit people and tackle, and I'll give him points for that.
With a 4th round grade, he just feels like he could be like your CB4, and just you're going to be fine as long as he doesn't have to play long term.
Yeah, I got him at like a 7th round grade, though. That's where that gets fun. So we're both on day 3, so at least let's call it that. 26, Damani Jackson, who you talked about. Ephesians Prysock, 25. Jaden Kennedy at 24. Amari Harvey from Georgia Tech is at 23. Boogie Trotter from Marshall, another smaller guy, is at 22 because the name's awesome. Thaddeus Dixon's 21. Devin Marshall from North Carolina State is at 20, purely because that man has insane analytics.
I had him at 19, so we're pretty close.
Okay. Insane analytics, and also did not test well. He ran a 4.45 and had like a 32 for his vert today, because today was NC State's pro day. So he ran relatively fast, 4.45, not quite what you want, but still close.
Yeah, that's the bad though. That's
he can't jump, man. He can't jump. It's bad combo. But again, he was like the 8th rated corner this year when it came to PFF. He's up in the 80s. So,
was he really?
Yeah, he had 12 passes defensed, had two picks just like last year. So he's a guy where the athletics don't fit the production, which makes me wonder, is he a good 3 guy maybe for your team? That's the concern that I've got there, is where he's going to come in. Malik Muhammad is 19. Will Lee at 18. Charles Demings sitting there at 17. Toriano Pride Jr., 16. Hezekiah I've got at 15. Sicario Davis is 14. Josh Moten's 13, and I don't care. I like him. I have the whole season. I'm going to put him up higher than a lot of other people probably will.
I have him at 17.
I know.
So we're both
You and I
higher.
both believe there. Yeah. 12 is Keontae Scott, and 11, Julian Neal from Arkansas, who is not as tall as we thought he would be, but he's taller than a lot of other guys in the league right now. And again, he's another guy who's a candidate to move over. But with the athleticism that he had aside from his 40 time, he's got some potential to do something at the next level.
Okay, so I was just doing a little more research on the cornerback speed here, and while like the studs were like the 4.39,
right?
Apparently, like the red flag zone literally starts at a 4.5.
Well, that's great for Devin Moore. Sorry, buddy, you're still screwed.
So now that I'm looking at it too, on my top 33, what's crazy as far as the 40 times that I have, I only have 4 guys in there who ran a 4.5 or worse.
Sure. Yeah, and that's
which
like
kind of crazy, but
that's
half
the knock
these guys
on Will
didn't
Lee.
run.
Yeah, right. That too. That's the other challenge because half the guys don't do that anymore.
All right, the top 10 here for the top day and second day here. 10 spot, the guy you just talked about, Julian Neal. Little older at 23, and again, I only mentioned that because at cornerback that actually does factor in, at least in my opinion.
By your early 30s,
you've got to be in your prime. Yeah, well, and that's even if you're really good. Heck, some of these guys it drops off a little earlier because but I still liked his tape quite a bit. Yeah, he ended up being a little smaller than we thought, but I still like his tape. So I've got him there. 9, I have Dalen Everett from Georgia.
Okay,
and then 8, a guy who dropped for me a little bit, and it's crazy to me, is Brandon Cisse.
Yeah, sure.
And he's the end of my 3rd round grades. I only have 3 of them. And so Cisse will be the one to talk about just a little bit here. He looks like such a great athlete on tape. He looks so smooth on tape. I just can't, for the life of me, figure out why it doesn't seem like he doesn't make any plays. He only stops plays. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, like
a lot of the guys I'm going to talk about above him, like they make a play, and by make a play, I mean you're batting a pass down, you're picking it off, you're making a tackle like in the backfield, and he's got a little bit of that, but like I don't see him jumping any routes or cutting any getting. Did he even? What were his picks?
Well, and that's the question: is like, are the instincts where you want them to be for a player?
He's got 1 pick, and if I remember correctly, it was kind of like tipped in this gift basket to him, and only 5 pass deflections.
Yeah, not all picks are created equal, and that's a big point.
And he only had 27 tackles. I mean, maybe people don't target him as much. I don't know.
Well,
I went back and I didn't like him as much as I thought I did. He was a guy who I had as my CB3 for a brief period of time as well.
Which gives you an idea about the CB class. But yeah, he did have in this last year, he had 7 pass breakups on 38 targets. So that's a decent number, but it's not spectacular. It's good, but it's not great. And that kind of falls into the same category. We've been talking about a lot of the guys so far right now.
All right. Second round tier, it goes 7-1. Yeah, I don't have any first round grades on corners in here. I just don't.
Why don't you pause on that for a second, and we'll come to your top 7 once I get there. So, 10 for me is Chandler Rivers, who again you've been hating on. I realize he's short, don't care, still like him. At
short
9,
allows 70% of the passes completed on him. Plays
still made some plays.
School.
Still made some small school. Duke's not a small school. It's ACC. They count. Brandon Cisse.
You're just saying that because you're rooting for him, so you don't have to buy me a tomahawk steak.
He's short. I understand that. Don't be putting that on me.
Got short arms.
I will buy a steak if it means that I get to watch, Michigan State and Duke both just, blow each other up. Let's go St. John's. Let's go Johnny's. They're not playing football, though. Brandon Cisse is at 9. Colton Hood is at 8. Keith Abney is at 7. So that's my tier right there. And again, Abney is up there even though he's shorter. I like everything about him better than a guy who's taller than him and Colton Hood. I think Colton Hood is good. I just like Abney better. Colton Hood is a great athlete. But when I watched his tape, both Hood and Cisse, neither of them impressed me as much as I was expecting to be by watching their tape.
So we agree on Cisse. I still think Cisse has all the potential, though, because he's still 20.
Right.
So his game could grow, and he could surprise somebody, so he's still worth a shot. But
he's also got 8.5
second round grade.
He's also got 8.5 chance.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, that's rough.
Maybe
that's why he doesn't try to catch the ball, because he can't, because he's a wee character.
Whoops.
All right, you want me to go 7-1?
Sure, rip through it. Let's go.
All right. 7, Malik Muhammad, Texas, who is a guy that I steadily just like liked more and more and more.
He's my roller coaster guy
throughout the season. He hasn't been for me. He's just the steady incline guy. Like even Combine moved him up.
The tape.
Dude, I think I used to have him around like 12 or 13. He just keeps climbing. He could climb a little more. I don't know.
I'll have to go back and watch him again. But
where did you have him?
19.
Where'd you have him? Oh wow.
Yeah. His tape just did not speak to me, so maybe I'll have to send me the cut up you're watching of him. Maybe I missed something.
Right, I can do that. 6, Colton Hood, just absolutely love the physicality and the willingness to be part of the run game, and he's an athlete. He makes some plays on defense, so absolutely love that. It's hard to find in corner. 5, Avion Terrell. This has been the roller coaster guy for me. He's briefly been at 3. He's been as low as 10. He's bouncing around. He's just coming in the 5 spot for now. We'll see. 1 minute, I think I really like his tape. The next minute, like, I don't know. I see some things I don't care for there. Absolute craziness.
Sure.
But my top 4, I feel really good about, and I don't think they're going to change. Say what you want. I do not care. Number 4 cornerback is D'Angelo Ponce.
You're more bold than I am. I like him, but not quite that much.
Dude, I love the way this guy plays football, and you know what? If he busts and makes me look dumb, I'll be like, you know what? Took a shot on a tiny corner. Yeah, it was risky. It probably wasn't going to work. Man. I knew that. But
if
guess
a team
what?
drafts him,
if he was taller, he would be my cornerback 1.
Oh, easily
in this class.
Easily, yeah. Not
well, and obviously a little heavier.
But a team needs to draft him and use him properly. Don't put him on DK Metcalf. Just don't do it. Okay.
Nope.
Put him in a spot where he can succeed.
He will ask him to,
he will do it. He will spider monkey that guy and make a play. Yeah. I understand that, but it's just not a good idea for him to put guys in position to succeed.
If I had to pick a my guy corner, just a guy that I'm rooting for, he can't qualify as a my guy because I wasn't on him before anybody else.
And
but if you're saying a my guy, just a guy that, but we also say a my guy can be a guy that you're much higher on than everybody else. Come draft day, he might fit the bill.
I don't know. I think a lot of people like him for me with the same issue that you've got with him. So I don't know.
But they're not putting him as find anyone who's got him as cornerback 4.
It's a good question. I'll have to poke around and see what
Doesn't
I can
exist,
find.
Dan.
I feel like there are some people who talk about him that way.
Find me 1, and I'll buy you a bomber. 3, I feel pretty solid about this. This has been a slight roller coaster guy for me because the Senior Bowl kind of soured me, but that was the only thing. I love his tape. Loved him at the Combine. Went back, watched the tape, loved it again. I'm throwing out everything I'd seen at the Senior Bowl, whatever weeks. Chris Johnson, my CB3.
Sure.
And nothing's going to change it. Absolutely. I like it. I'm a huge fan. And then CB2 is Jermon McCoy. We all know if he were healthy and whatnot, he's easily number 1. He would have, based on the tape that we had seen 2 years ago, he would have a first-round grade. No-brainer for me. I'm just terrified. Of why he's done nothing yet.
I am waiting
March
on
31st is coming around. Yeah, March 31st is coming.
That's when we'll have a chat.
Yep. So he could move to 1. He could get a first-round grade. We'll see. Because he's also only 20 and had the best tape hands down of anybody in here, even over Bonds.
Sure.
But there you go. And then Juan Mansour Delane. We talked about him a ton.
Cool. I am going to cherry pick something real quick just to make a point so you can buy me a bomber. Wolf Sports, Jillian Chapine from the mock draft database has D'Angelo Ponce as his CB3.
Get out of there.
I can screenshot it for you if you want. You owe me a bomber. I'm just saying, there's always crazies out there, man. There's always people who are planting flags in weird places.
I'll buy you a bomber no matter what, just because I made the bet. But I guess I should have been more detailed in my bet. And I was talking more along the lines of like a PFF and ESPN or somebody out there, like some of the CBS or NBC, somebody that's people go to look at for this stuff.
Look, I'm just saying, this is mock draft database.
I got you a bomber.
People out there. And a lot of them have him at like 6, which is actually where I've got him as well. So D'Angelo Ponce is 6 for me. Dalen Everett, I got a 5. Again, not a guy I expected to move up as high as I did, but I liked the tape that I saw there. He's 6'1". He's got a 4.38. He's got a 37 vert. He's got the things, man.
I feel like we're gonna have to like highlight these like before on draft day before the draft starts. But I feel like at every position, you and I need to do a head-to-head bet, and one needs to be Malik Muhammad versus Dalen Everett.
Okay, I'm fine with that. That sounds like a good matchup.
Done.
I was not going to bet you on D'Angelo Ponce because I love him too, even though he's short. Right. And then top 4 for me, it's the same top 4 that you've got pretty much in a slightly different order. I got David Terrell at 4 instead of you've got him at 5. But I've got Jermod McCoy at 3 because I can't have him higher than that until the knee, till we find out, until he actually does something.
But would you agree if he just goes and rips a 40 and looks healthier? Like, he's CB1 now.
Yeah, if he goes in
But I don't know if you'll put him at CB1 because you love Delane. You're my guy.
I do love Delane. And I got Chris Johnson at 2. And so the reason why he's ahead of McCoy is because I got nothing from McCoy right now. Who knows, right? I mean, the teams
is it safe to say, at least for me, McCoy cannot stay at 2. He's either going to go to 1 or plummet.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to plummet the guy because his tape last year was as good as it was. But
he would go down to 7. He would go to the bottom of this tier.
Yeah, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. If he doesn't do anything, if he pulls a Will Johnson went in the 30s, that's probably where McCoy will go if he doesn't work out, because he even had more time off than Johnson, I think, did from the injury when you look at when it happened. And so if he chooses once again not to do it.
This whole year and then part of last year, right?
Yeah, and again,
he did it in spring.
No, he did it, I think, at the end of the season, or it was off season. Yeah, point is, he's had, I think it was at the end of the year. Regardless, it's long enough to where he should have been able to come back if he wanted to. And again, when you talk about the fact that doctors cleared him, he chose not to, which is fine. I have zero problem with a guy, investing in his future when the team's not making a playoff, because Tennessee was not in a position for that. So I get that. But now you didn't do anything in the combine. Keep saying you're progressing. If he doesn't do things in 5 days on the 31st, then he's got to go down, because you don't know what you've got. His agent better be saying, look, dude, you've got to give me something. Run in a straight line at least. Run. If you don't want to cut because you're worried about something, okay, fine. But run in a straight line at least. Help me out. That's where I'm at.
Something. Anything.
We'll see. But we can both agree right now, Mansfield Delane's at the top of the list. We'll see what happens there. Any surprises from you before we wrap up here from these positions?
So, surprises. I would say the biggest surprise for me would have just been because the Cisse, man.
Mm-hmm.
Early on in the season, I told you, like, when I was watching South Carolina, I was like, dude, Dan, this guy's an athlete.
Sure,
he's such an athlete, and he's so smooth. When is South Carolina's pro day? Because he didn't.
I don't remember.
Really, he didn't do anything other than like jump at the combine.
Right. If you hear the keys in the background, it's because I'm asking what the pro day is. Now, when I started typing, you asked about the property tax. I'm more interested in the pro day. Pro day. Okay, so it did happen. It was actually 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, which shows you how much we pay attention to these things. Well, according to
I haven't checked any pro days yet.
According to On3, Brandon Cisse is 5'11.5", 189, 31.375 for the arms, so 31.3.
Wow.
For the arms.
His arms grew like a half inch or so.
Well, his hands are 8.5.
That's the same.
Yep, 4.4 on the 40, 41 on the vert.
I thought more than that. That stayed the same.
Yeah, 44.4 on the 40, 41 on the vert, 10.11 on the broad. Shuttle was 4.3.
Stayed the same.
So yeah, a lot of it stayed the same. But yeah, the fact that somehow his arms grew seems about right.
So he didn't test his. That actually, while that's not bad, that's good.
It's fine.
I thought he was going to run in the 4.3s.
Mm-hmm. Oops. And again, 4.4.
But the main thing with him would be watching the drills, because how smooth he was, man.
Right.
He just seemed fluid.
Hey, you remember how I was going nuts about Rashul Faison and how quick his first step was and stuff like that?
Yeah, the 35-year-old running back.
Yeah, apparently all he has is a quick first step because he ran a 4.6.
Not great.
Not what you're shooting for a guy who's 5'10" and 206.
Nope.
Oops. And this is why it's like the counting numbers do not mean everything. We just got done talking about that with Malachi Fields and speed and stuff like that.
They don't.
But they do still matter when you're trying to figure out where to fit all these guys, especially when it's a 26-year-old running back. All right, next time we're moving into the big boys. We got offensive tackle. We've got edge. The two positions that our team might be looking at.
My favorite episode, probably. Oh, yeah. Man. Because isn't linebacker and safety in the same episode? Oh, man. Those are the two. Those are my two favorites.
Well, we'll get to that next time. Not next week, but next time. We'll get you those big boys with Draft Grab.